YouTube X. All right, Jenny, we're live. Here comes the intro.
You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show.
What's happening, all you beautiful listeners out there in podcast land? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. That's right, folks. You know it, you love it, you know where to find it. All your major pod-catching devices and streaming applications. As always, my name is Andy Sokolovich, President and CEO of Grow Clinton, joined in the studio by our Director of Member and Community Relations.
You got it.
Jenny Home, everybody. Yeah. Yes, a round of applause. Jenny, how you been?
I'm good. I was busy this morning, and I'm going to be busy this afternoon. One thing I love to do is talk to prospective members and, tell them what we offer and have them really excited about it. So, and then later on today, I get to go and speak to an existing member and see what's going on there.
Yeah, for those of you that are not aware, Grow Clinton is a nonprofit organization 100% funded by member investment with nearly 500 members as part of our organization. We have about an $800,000 annual budget that supports all of our scope of work and all of our staff members. Yep. And we're a small but mighty staff, only
we
6
really
of us,
are.
Jenny.
I know it, and I love it. And the things that, I'm able to offer as benefits, but also to explain how their investment goes back into the community to bring more to our area and to help the success of the economy.
Well, that is the key to the growth of our region and the growth of this organization is continue to be transparent and communicate and share where that dollar goes. And boy, we stretch it as far as we possibly can.
Get the most out.
Nonprofit means stretching the dollars.
That's right.
Jenny, we got sponsors.
I love them.
Mic check. This is courtesy of Citizens First Bank. That's right, folks. They sponsor and helped us buy these amazing new mics for the Grow Clinton podcast. They are the bank that is always in tune with our community. Find them at gocfb.bank, whether you're buying a home, looking to start a business, or you want to open up a savings account for your little kids.
Oh, that's a great
idea. They have the CFB program.
Mm-hmm.
Banking as it should be with Citizens First Bank, member FDIC. AdCraft Printwear, Sully's Sports. AdCraft hooking everybody up with custom apparel since 1974. Over the years, they've grown from a small family-run business serving the Clinton, Iowa community to a cutting-edge operation, now doing business on a national scale. For all of your custom printwear needs, adcraftusa.com. Also, visit sullysports.com, brand new sporting goods retailer located right off of Mill Creek, just off of 19th Avenue Northwest here in Clinton. Everything you need from baseball to pickleball to tennis to golf. Check them out, sullysports.com. The OG sponsor of the Grow Clinton podcast, Miles Communication, high-speed, wicked fast, high-speed internet. Jenny, did you know that?
Wicked fast.
Wicked fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's my East Coast
That's
right
the
there.
East Coast right there.
They also offer television and telephone services. If they're not in your neck of the woods, trust me, Scott Bodie tells me this all the time, they're on their way.
Mm-hmm.
MilesTelephone.com. Of course, Lyondell Basell Clinton Complex. Yeah, they produce plastic resins used to create a variety of products, including household and industrial bottles, pressure pipes, food packaging, outdoor durable goods, construction and roofing materials, toys, kayaks, milk jugs. If it's plastic, chances are pretty good that it came from the Lyondell Basell Clinton Complex. LYB is committed to being a responsible, engaged neighbor in our community through volunteerism, charitable giving, partnerships with local organizations. LYB aims to strengthen our community by supporting education, sustainability, and safety initiatives. Lyondell Basell, Jenny.
Yep.
Solutions for a better tomorrow. Great show today.
Have you noticed our new addition to our...
It's Hammer Time.
It's Hammer Time.
Yeah, so today we have a guest, an executive director of an organization called Homes for Iowa. Also a friend of mine, Mr. Dave Miller in the hizzy. Dave, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Homes for Iowa. If you haven't heard about it, you're missing out. Dave, what is it and why is it so important to the success of our housing here in the state?
Sorry, I'm getting wrapped up here. Housing is critical all over the state, and so is our skilled workforce. And we're attacking those two as well as reducing recidivism at the same time.
Recidivism, complicated word to say. What does it mean?
Recidivism is the essentially returning back to prison life. And so we are building single family homes at the Newton Correctional Facility down in Newton, Iowa. We have on site, it's a factory type setting. And so we're building 24 plus homes at one time. And so our gentlemen at the Newton Correctional Facility are learning trades, skilled trades, building a house from the ground up, and transferring that into the real world as they re-enter society, which is creating second chances both in their life and employment, but also providing an affordable home that we're selling pretty much anywhere in the state will deliver.
Yeah.
When did the program start?
Yeah, program's been around for about 5 years. Before that, probably 3 to 5 years of was a lot of advocacy, and essentially Governor Reynolds lended her support in the 2019 State of the State address. We grabbed some dollars allocation to basically change the facility just a little bit. It was a horse farm, now is a production
No
facility.
way.
So, yeah,
That's cool.
and then tied on with workforce development, Iowa Works, etc. And as job apprenticeships, all those things are happening. Certifications on site, and yeah, we built our first home back in 2020. We built a few homes that year. Since then, we just delivered our 150th home.
Wow.
That's great. So again, homes for Iowa, right? Homes for Iowa.
Homesforiowa.com. Yeah.
.com. So for those that are just catching up, those are homes that are constructed by the inmates that are incarcerated at the Newton facility. Now, we may sit back and reflect and say, okay, there's people that are incarcerated, they're in prison. However, they just made a mistake, right?
Right.
Many of them are not repeat offenders. They made a mistake, they got busted, they're serving their time, but what better way to reintroduce them back into society than connect them and teach them these skill sets that they're going to need in order to support themselves. So they're building quality homes. Dave said 24 at a time, and you said your 150th?
We just moved and delivered our 150th home this winter.
Now, now I said sold, but you're not the lender. You don't sell the homes. You're just working with the prison system to ensure the homes are being manufactured, and then they go off to obviously a home owner. What does that process look like, and what are the options for somebody that wants to buy a home through Homes for Iowa?
Sure. Realistically, we'll sell to anyone, anywhere in the state. We are the builder and delivery service. It's really up to the homeowner, developer. We do sell to nonprofits, cities, economic development organizations. We'll also sell to, the Joe homeowner that contacts us on our website. And so they're just responsible for some of the general construction. By that I mean it's site prep, footings, foundation, utility hookups, and essentially we'll move and place the house. Then that owner is then responsible for hooking up those utilities. And really, the house comes about 85% complete, and by that I mean it comes with everything, realistically, except for flooring.
And so what are the designs?
Designs are, we sell 1,000 square foot and a 1,200 square foot home, each available in 2 and 3 bedrooms.
And I looked them up online.
Thank you.
They're really pretty.
You can look them up online. We just introduced our virtual tours, so you actually have a chance to kind of walk through that. That's homesforiowa.com. IA is... Looking it up, homesforIA.com. And so, we try to have as much information on our website as possible. And so we've got all of our models of our homes. We've got the floor plans. We've actually have the stamped architectural drawings. So if you're going out to bid, you can just really hand it to a contractor and say, hey, how much is this going to cost to get, those utilities and foundation in place. So,
and the curb appeal is really nice. I mean, we were talking before we went on the podcast that the roof lines, if you've ever built a house, the roof lines are expensive, first of all, but they're also difficult, and you don't know how they're going to turn out. But these homes have some really unique and different roof lines. They're really pretty homes.
So our price, you mentioned price is standard. It doesn't matter where you're at in the state of Iowa, whether you're 2 miles from Newton or 200. Our price delivered in 2026 orders are $108,000. And again, that comes pretty much with everything except for your flooring and appliances, but it's got all your HVAC system, water heater. You you have the option to put it on a crawl space or a full basement. And if you put it on a basement, you'd be responsible for cutting in stairs. If you want to add a garage, you would do that on site as well. So
Wow.
Extremely affordable. Again, homes4ia.com. You got a great virtual tour there. You can actually see the homes. You can also look at some frequently asked questions. And one of the questions that comes up quite a bit is, how much does a Homes for Iowa house cost? And like you just said, $108,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And that is a 1,200 square foot model. $98,000 for the 1,000 square foot model, 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Homes for Iowa does require a 10% deposit at the time of order. Now, let's talk about customization. And I think it's genius what you guys do is, I mean, you could really just open up the floodgates of customization, but you don't. You keep it relatively simple. They have a few options to choose from.
Yes,
What
sir.
does that look like?
You know, we're a job training program first and foremost. The affordable home is really the product that comes from that. And so in order to keep a job training program streamlined and keep teaching those efficiencies and different things as we go forward, you know, the guys on site, we don't know when they're going to get released. They're generally on the tail end of incarceration. They could be on place an average, 90 days. Some of them have been up there for 3 years. But realistically, we haven't had anyone longer than that.
And
So
you said that you also work on different skills, not just the construction skills, but like soft skills.
yeah, so those, I mean, the hard skills, we can talk about that. They're building from the ground up. They get certifications. They kind of start on a general construction pathway, but then they'll kind of dial into a specific trade that they like. And then from there, they're learning the teamwork and camaraderie. They're learning relationship building. They're learning responsibilities. We try to have it as much of a factory setting so it does transfer into the real world. And so do those certifications. We've had gentlemen exit that have been in that apprenticeship for the HVAC and electrical and went on to have their journeyman's electrician's license. So
That's huge.
those hours that they're working on site, they do transfer into the real world, and that's
Yeah.
important as well.
And in-demand careers.
Yeah, right.
I know all of our construction partners here in the residential side specifically are just begging for people. I mean, we
HVAC.
have a HVAC, electric,
sure.
doesn't matter. I mean, we have kind of a robust home building program through the high school
Yes.
where students transition out from past graduate or once they graduate high school into the workforce. But having something like this too is awesome. And what I love is I look at the infill possibilities for Clinton. We have several blocks, usually in our downtown area that we call the flats, 5th, 6th, 7th,
Yep.
those avenues. And there's some homes in there that just need to come down, right? They're not
Right.
occupied. They're on the demo list. The city's going to flip the bill. They're going to demo it. And then normally what they do is try to sell the lot to an adjacent homeowner. And what better way, though, for that homeowner either to generate some additional funds for themselves or for the city to retain ownership of the lot, or somebody like Grow Clinton, than to have the lot work with Dave and Homes for Iowa to
For
get a
sure.
home there.
We partner in that instance a lot. I'm gonna go back and touch quickly on the workforce side of it, if you could, and just offer any of your employers, if they're looking for skilled trades, we do a job fair a couple times a year. They can contact me directly or go through Iowa Works to get to that. We'd love to match up those employers' needs with some of our guys that are reentering. So that
Yeah.
first and foremost. But on the infill lots, we see a lot of that around the state. There's nothing better for a community to retain that tax base as well. Those adjacent lots, to homeowners, it's nice to have a big yard, but yeah, realistically, it's also nice to have a neighbor and on the community side to be able to retain those tax dollars to create and continue some of those services
Yeah.
as we're looking at
Who
some of the
qualifies
legislation
for?
changes. So
I'm sorry. Who qualifies for these? I mean, is there any
Yeah.
qualification?
there's some income guidelines, a couple different things. We don't allow them to rent. We're owner occupied driven today, and by that we mean we want to see home ownership continue to grow. And so we have a cap of $125,000 income qualification for the homeowner, and then again where we're at for price point, we feel that pretty much wraps up about the average income of any Iowan. So.
But you can use any mortgage lender you want to, correct?
Yeah, we're not tied to any direct lender. We don't do any lending services. Like I said, we're the builder delivery service of a licensed modular home. And then at that point, it's up to the buyer or developer to seek out other loans.
Now, what,
Traditional,
like,
yeah.
from a general contracting perspective, I mean, somebody's got to pull permits, all of that. So, do you just identify a existing home builder within the community to work on this project, or
It's
how does it
really
work?
up to the local. You know,
Okay.
we don't have any preferred contractors that we work with. We'll work with anyone, and we'll guide them through the process. We try to be an open book with all our plans and delivery subsets and timelines. So it takes about 6 months to at this point for us to build and deliver a home. And so we'll kind of work through that process too. The nice thing with the contractors is they do like that because traditionally when you're looking at a stick frame home, they're going to be on site, you know, anywhere from 90 to 180 days. Ours is realistically just a kind of a general construction side of things where they have to manage those subcontractors. Once our house is placed, then again, it's those subcontractors put flooring and other
Yeah.
pieces in there. They're on site. If they're looking at flipping it, it goes pretty quick.
Well, and you think about utility accessibility. If you're building within, the municipal boundaries of the city of Clinton, it's already there.
Right.
Yeah, especially
You
with
know?
infill housing, or I mean, if it's an existing home that came down, if it's an empty lot, generally those utilities are right out front. So
This
Yeah.
is a great fit for at Grow Clinton here. We look at the child care
Oh, yeah,
issues that
yeah.
we have, and there's I can't remember where it is, but in the state of Iowa, they do something called a daycare home. They're starting to do a program where they partner with this sort of thing, and then they build a home, and that's meant for daycare. They
Okay.
sell it to a daycare private, somebody who might
Like an
actually
in-home provider.
somebody who would do it
Mhm.
in-home providing, but they don't want to do it at their house so that they can do something like this, and then that opens up more slots in daycare. So that'd be
Yeah.
a great
yeah,
fit for
we
that.
currently don't have any restrictions on a home-based business. We've got a few of the homes that we've been placed. They actually did a breezeway in between home-based business. I'm assuming there's somewhere out there that somebody's operating an in-home daycare too.
Oh
We
yeah,
just don't have
plenty.
the data,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, no, it's cool. When I first found out that, Dave was a economic development practitioner where?
I was in Rock Valley. so
Rock
the
Valley.
other side of the state.
Yeah, so when I found out he left there and he had a great opportunity with Homes for Iowa, I was very excited. I think the first time that I physically saw you at a Professional Developers of Iowa event, I said, we got to talk about this because I see, the city of Clinton tried for a number of years to do had a home, we would spend some money, the municipality would spend some tax dollars and basically redeveloping or renovating that home, and we'd go out and we sell it. And it was fine, but it was like one here, one there.
Yeah.
There was no like contiguous development at one time. And I think for something like this to really be successful and form a whole downtown housing sector, it has to happen like a block at a time,
think you're
both
right.
sides. And we do have some blocks in our community where there's probably just a handful of residents still in that block where I'm sure if the opportunity was available, they'd be happy to move or, relocate and have a home built for them. And then they can in turn get in there. And so we got to think about this a little bit more strategically, but my brain is just spinning. And some of the things that I love about this, like Dave said, I mean, this home comes on a trailer. And it's not a trailer home, but it comes on a trailer. It's delivered. The walls are painted, correct?
Yeah, everything's done.
There's already included was a furnace and an air conditioner.
Correct.
That's awesome.
Jeez.
The walls, it says here, like how thick are the walls for the home?
Yeah.
Standard type
So we're-
stuff,
we're
right?
Standard stick frame construction, just like you'd see on a traditional build on site. We have a web truss system as the base, so we're not an iron frame like a traditional modular. It comes as one piece. For instance, a 1,200 square foot's 24 feet wide by 50 feet. What comes as one piece? We get DOT escort everywhere we go in the state. We roll up on site. We'll slide that house right over onto the foundation, square it up, and realistically, again, it's easy. I'll put my past developer hat on. Having brought a few of these to Rock Valley, that's really what brought me to the idea of taking a look at this position to lead
Yeah.
the initiative. Having experience placing these homes was just eye-opening. For a long time, I will say in that organization that I was in, we probably internally argued about what does an affordable house look like. What does the square footprint look like? What is the interior walls? We'd argue about, well, we should change a closet to some other space or move this wall. Our product is seamless in a way at Homes for Iowa that the plan is the plan. There aren't any alterations. Once it goes on site, you can change those things, but realistically we try to make it as easy as possible. So here's your 2-bedroom plan, here's your 3-bedroom plan. You get a few options in that. You get to pick your roof lines, you get to pick your siding colors. Again, you get to pick that interior, whether it's 2 or 3 bedrooms, etc. And then from there, we'll build a house for you. We'll move it. And
then I'm also seeing David says, do the Homes for Iowa Homes have a warranty? And
Yeah.
the answer is yes.
yes, they are. So we're fully licensed. We have a third-party inspector. We build to pretty much the strictest code that is in Iowa. There's a few municipalities that are, different. We try to lend in that way of we are building to where we can bring it anywhere in Iowa. So we've got a third-party licensed inspector that shows up and looks through those homes as it progresses through the building. So it's not just a final walkthrough. They're actually there documenting the houses as they go. And then again, that's, those licensed electricians, those kind of things. So it's just like a traditional build. And so our warranty is 1 year, top down. We'll come and address any of those issues. And then from there, we'll process into the manufacturer warranties. So
Do you ever hear back from any of the gentlemen who work on these homes?
we do, we try. It is difficult just because of the situation at hand, but realistically, we have heard quite a few success stories. We're in the works of kind of painting that story. We accepted an award last fall at the Housing Iowa conference. We had a past incarcerated individual there that actually came and helped us with our acceptance speech, delivered a powerful message and story. And then we utilized some of those guys to come back on site to help the current crew members understand that what we are. We're not just building houses. We're creating opportunity for them as they exit. So.
Can you share any of his story?
Yeah, I mean, he was specifically the gentleman that went into the apprentice or actually licensed residential electrician, and he worked on site for about 3 years. He was in a bad situation. I won't tell his story for him, but he was incarcerated for quite a few years. And on the tail end, he's probably one of our first gentlemen through the program initially after we had a few houses under our belt and worked on site for a few years and really just latched onto that electrical side of things and just really enjoyed it. We worked with him to get those accreditations and transfer, and then he went through the job fair process, did an interview on site, was hired. I think his story is realistically he walked out of prison, and the next day he had the employer's t-shirt on and was working on a job site. And I think about 90 days later, he took his residential electrician's license test and passed it first time.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's great. And that's the way the prison system should work.
It should, because what the punishment is having your freedom taken away. That shouldn't, while you're in prison, the best way to use that time is to learn something. You shouldn't be continuously punished. The punishment is not having your freedom.
You served your time.
Right.
Now we're going
Right.
to help rehabilitate you and
Yeah.
give you opportunities that you can walk away from that lifestyle and secure meaningful and hopefully perpetual employment
Yeah.
with a quality employer.
And we again the initiative and the belief from the ground up, both with Iowa Prison Industries, who's the enterprise side of Department of Corrections, our nonprofit board that's tied to them. It's mission first, it's second chances. That's what we are, surrounded by daily, and those are the most important things to be able to create that skilled worker, enter the workforce, and not see them back. That's the intent.
And we talked about this before we went on the podcast that, sometimes people make really dumb, stupid decisions when they're young and,
Or wrong place, wrong time.
wrong place,
you
wrong
know?
time.
We
And
could all be one
Guilty
bad
by
decision from being in
association.
there.
yeah,
So,
right.
yep.
And, that's a proof that you can rehabilitate and you have the drive to do something better with your life and you're getting the opportunity. And that's what you need, the opportunity.
Sure. And we welcome tours to the facility, or we try to be as open as what we are. We have a lot of different communities, developers, individual homeowners that just want to come see a site, come see the site visit, just see it and experience what's happening there. Said again, the story is really what's happening there on site, but it really gives you an opportunity to walk through those different floor plans and things too, and you can see those homes under construction in all phases. It's not like we do, a batch of 24, they all start up. We have continually houses moving essentially out. And so as that lot clears, we'll start another house. So
And you said there's some expansion going on
yeah,
too.
yeah, we're hoping to provide some more affordable housing all over the state. Again, keep continuing that job training side. So we have 24 at a time now. We're expanding another 19 sites, or 16, excuse me. So we'll be
Wow.
up to 40 sites total. Our hope would be is we can turn those a couple times. Our 3 to 5 year outlook is we'd love to be in that 75 to maybe even 100 homes a year.
Yeah, this is great. Again,
You know,
Dave Miller, Executive Director, Homes for Iowa. The website is homesforia.com. Again, homesforia.com. I love your website, man,
thank you.
because it is just user friendly and it answers all the major
Yeah.
questions.
I
even
try
went
to be.
to-
If there's not a question on there, I please ask it. We do
Yeah.
have a web form in there you can contact us on, and
Well, just to impress Dave, I actually create all these little questions that I was going to
I think we hit 'em
ask.
all.
And I didn't even look at it once because the website was so intuitive
Yeah.
and user friendly. I was able to go right there. And I'm also looking as a nonprofit. You're a 501c3 charitable nonprofit. You have a board of directors,
Yeah.
and some of these individuals I know. Actually, Lance Henning, he and I went to Leadership Iowa together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I'll have
so-
to mention that.
Yeah, so he's a great guy with the Greater Des Moines.
I'm sure he's a
Habitat-
follower on the podcast.
Yeah, he
anyway.
probably better be. For Habitat for Humanity, you have people from local unions, plumbers and pipe fitters, bankers. So this is not an organization that is now under the direction of Dave Miller. No doubt it's going to be successful. However, you have a safety net of some awesome individuals representing the entire state of Iowa to ensure that you continue to grow and develop this program, Homes for Iowa. My brain's spinning right now.
Well, I'll go back to the board and kudos to for it was a initiative that grew very organically, but the board was put together intentionally. And if you take a look at our board makeup, we have nonprofits to larger cities to smaller rural communities, and then we also on the workforce side we kind of have general contractors to the union labor side of things. So we try to cover as much, cast a net as big as possible to the characters that can come help and sell our program, and I feel very strongly they did that in the original portions of it, but again they continue to serve, and it's been a rewarding part to be part of. So
Yeah.
So if you have somebody who wants to get into this program,
Yeah.
like I'm sitting at home, I'd love to have a new home. I go on your website, I contact you. What's the next step?
yeah, we can run really quick through the process. Essentially, you kind of kick our tires on the website. What we have is a pre-order checklist, and essentially that kind of gives you a basic budget rundown, so you kind of have an idea what it is, and then you can go talk to the bank first, or you can have us come look. And what we do is a lot check, and we'll send one of our moving crew members up to make sure we can get a house to you. And it's not just maybe your lot. Sometimes it's the routes to get to you. Generally, we haven't had too many issues. We did start craning houses in the last year, so we've really opened up a wider range of places we can move a house. Then from there, if the lot check is approved, or maybe a third-party craning operation might have to be, you kind of go through those costs. But ultimately, hey, if we can move a house to you, then you put your 10% down. We have done that to be a partner, so you're not doing progress payments throughout like a traditional build. So if you're a nonprofit to a homeowner, or even I'll say a city side, we're hoping we can help those operational costs, and you can stick that in, keep those costs down to keep the affordable side.
Not going to 10% be rolled into your mortgage?
Yeah. Yep. Again, you have to set up your financing on your part, whether the bank's going to give you a note, you pay interest for that cost, or, again,
Sure.
that other 90% of our cost to get to you is not something you have to pay for until the day of delivery.
And
No.
you have something brand new.
And you got a brand new shiny
Yeah.
house. So
Yeah, my head's spinning. I have so many
Mhm.
ideas, but I want to thank you, Dave, for taking the opportunity. Road Warrior Miller
Yes.
here.
I appreciate it. I run the Ragbri route
Yeah,
quite
there-
a bit.
This is-
I'm
this is
not-
the
I'm not a
shortest
paid
route?
consultant for
Yeah.
them yet. So
yeah, this is the shortest route I think of all time for Ragbri, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
And it stays in the state the whole time this time too, because
Yeah.
last time it went up
Yeah.
to Minnesota.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
no,
cool.
it's a remarkable state. Kudos to you and your group for doing what you do for your community and area. Again, we talk to a lot of community leaders throughout the state, and it's really just remarkable to see all the different things that people are working on. And housing is just one of those cogs of the wheels, but it's been really cool to be jumping into this role, but also traveling the state just to see all the different things that people are working on. So
Nice.
it's a great place to be.
Well, we will be in touch, Dave. Homes for Iowa. I'm going to make it happen. I
Thanks
think
for
within the
having me.
next
I can
12 to
tell.
18 months, we're gonna land something here in town.
Well,
And you
let's-
don't just
Because
say
I got
that
a
'cause
ton of
that
ideas.
happens.
Yeah, I don't mess around.
Yeah.
Could we do a podcast from the inside of the house? Once
Yeah,
again?
man.
All right,
I would
let's do it.
love to do that.
Ooh.
I dig it. I think this is great. You know, one of the things we tend to
That'd be
struggle with
great.
here in Clinton
Yeah.
is the availability of quality, affordable homes.
Affordable. Mm-hmm.
We see a lot of the new construction is on the higher end for
Mhm.
single family residents. We have the condominiums over behind the Wild Rose Casino. A large portion of our housing stock was built like circa 1950
Yeah.
and older.
Yep. And they're nice homes.
They're nice
Yeah.
homes, but after so many years, they need
Yeah.
a little TLC.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when my
sure.
wife and I were looking for a home, we struggled for about 6 months to find anything.
Right.
You know, some homes our real estate agent would take us to, and I'd be like, nope, not even getting out of the car. Don't want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
It requires way too much work. You know, I have a young family, 3 kids. I'm not going to be able to dedicate time
Right.
or the financial resources to bring this thing back up to standards. And we were looking for something that's, you know, was kind of turnkey.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very difficult to find. Now, luckily, we found something. We have a great neighborhood. But as I travel around the community, I see gaps where we could easily infill those gaps with these style homes. And, you know, 1,000 to 1,200 square feet may not seem big, but it is. I mean, it's what you need.
It's
just-
definitely a good house. Plenty of room for a family. We see a lot of entry level people. We see a lot of aging place. You know, everything's
Sure,
on the main floor,
downsizing.
downsize. You know, it creates it affordable long term too. So again, I want to reiterate, it's not a cheap built house. It's quality. It's efficient, so it's affordable long term as
Well,
well.
this would be a great for someone like me, who's I'm by myself. I have kids who are grown and away, and I would be someone who would say, I could never afford to build
Mhm.
a house. And yeah, I can. I could.
Now you can.
Yeah, I could do that. And, it's perfect for the kids who come home and stay with me. Plenty of bedrooms, plenty of bathrooms. And it gives an opportunity to someone like me who,
I think we just sold our first home.
You did.
for someone like me who would, and there's plenty of people like me out there who would honestly say, I could never build a home. I wouldn't have that opportunity.
Well, we just did the Iowa Chamber Alliance does this talent survey, and we speak to individuals. The target is younger individuals regarding their perceptions or viewpoints in the state of Iowa.
Mhm.
And one of the things that we find, especially this last one, is many young professionals feel that home ownership is unattainable
Yes,
because it is too cost prohibitive to actually buy a home.
right.
They have student loan debt. They don't want to get locked into, a 30-year mortgage,
Mhm.
and they just feel like it's just too costly of
Right.
an endeavor. And this takes away not only the cost issue, because it's very affordable, but also all the wacky stuff you have to go through when you're building your own home, change orders, and
Mhm.
oh, this didn't come in on time, or we're waiting for this delivery, and oh, that didn't come in on time. Everything's done for you.
It is.
It's awesome. It's just like ordering a home on Amazon and it
It's
gets dropped
slick.
off at your house.
It's slick.
We try to make it easy. I'm not gonna say it's as easy as Amazon, but
Well, that's what I'm saying. All I gotta say,
make it
Dave,
cool.
is these homes are going down the road, cruising on I-80. They better have a giant sign on the side that says "Homes for Iowa.com"
Yeah.
and a picture of Dave Miller's face.
Ha,
right
that'll
on it.
sell it right
I'm
there.
telling
for
you,
sure.
Yeah.
you gotta
It's
do
the-
it.
It's a great
Awesome.
looking face. That's sure.
Dave,
I
no
love your
doubt, buddy.
confidence.
I'm right behind the mic, so
I
nobody
just-
can
Nah.
see me, so.
No,
Yeah,
I love your
Dave's
confidence.
Dave's a great guy, visionary, laser focused on the state of Iowa, an excellent partner. And unless your head's in the sand, you got to get out there and research to figure out where these programs are within the state and how you can take advantage of them. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the
Well,
podcast.
thanks for the opportunity to share our story. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, homesforia.com. Jenny, what do you got going on the rest of the week?
Oh, I've got
What is
some-
today? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
Yep.
So I've got some visits to go, which I love, that, and then some more podcasts. But I'm reaching out now to some prospective members, and I really love doing all of that. I just, I'm from here, so it's like visiting friends.
Yeah, and Jenny does a phenomenal job because she truly is not only confident in the services and the benefits that we offer to our members, but she is very approachable.
Aw.
And I don't think there's anybody that you've met with that's ever called me and was like, don't ever send her again.
I hope
No, people love meeting with you because you can
Aw.
speak confidently and the other thing that you do really well is you're very empathetic
Aw,
and
thank
you
you.
understand the problems that business owners are experiencing and you're willing to put in the time and effort to develop a solution.
Thank you, Andy.
And that's why we
That
are
makes
so
me
successful.
Feel good. Makes me feel good.
Me, I just sit behind a mic
Yeah.
and press buttons.
That's not
folks.
true.
No,
Not
we're
true.
all doing well. This is a rock star of a team. Again, growclinton.com. You can check us out if you're not an investor and you want to be one. Go to that website, growclinton.com, and figure out all the benefits that we provide our members. And then give us a call, 242-5702, or reach out to Jenny directly, JHOLM at growclinton.com. It's that easy, folks. Also, be sure to subscribe to the podcast. iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Just search Grow Clinton Podcast. Until next time, folks, stay classy. See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.